Dear students, today we are going to learn about nutrition in animals. So, what is meant by this nutrition? Nutrition means it is the process of taking enough food, or it is the process of intake of food and its utilization by body. So, it involves intake of food as well as its utilization by body. So we can see that nutrition means it is the process of taking enough food, or it is the process of intake of food as well as its utilization by different body cells. In case of food items, different food items, they contain different types of nutrients. And after the intake of this food, during the process of nutrition, we will utilize these different food materials by our body cells. As well as their nutrition, it involves different steps or different stages like ingestion. The first step, that is ingestion. Ingestion means intake of food or eating or intake of food. Then the second step, that is digestion process. Digestion means it involves the breakdown of large food material into or food particle into simpler as well as soluble form. Then third step, that is the absorption process. That means the simpler as well as the soluble food that is absorbed by different body cells or tissues. Then assimilation process. Fourth step, during the assimilation process, our body will use different types of nutrients. Then the last stage, that is the egestion process or excretion process. Excretion means it is the process of removal of waste material from our body. So once again I will repeat it. The nutrition or the process of nutrition means it involves the intake of food. Intake of food as well as its utilization by different body cells. So the energy which is stored within the food material that is used by the living organism for various bodily activities. As well as it involves several stages or different steps or the process of nutrition that involves 5 different steps. First step, that is ingestion. Then second step, that is the digestion. Ingestion means it is the process of intake of food by using mouth. Then the second step, that is the digestion process. During the digestion process, the breakdown of large food substances into simpler as well as soluble form. Then the third step, that is the process of absorption. During the absorption process, the different types of nutrient content that is present in the food that is absorbed by our body cells. Then the assimilation process or during fourth step, these various nutrients that is utilized by our different body cells or tissues for various purposes. Then the last step or last stage, that is the egestion process or excretion process. Then during excretion process, the waste material or the unwanted substances that are excreted from our body. Different food items contain different types of nutrients. So main nutrients that present in our food that are carbohydrate, proteins, fat, vitamins, minerals and water. So each nutrients have its particular role. Carbohydrate, that is the main source of energy, or mainly it is known as energy yielding food. Carbohydrate, like fat also another type of nutrient is also mainly concerned with the production or release of energy. So mainly this carbohydrate as well as these fat both are considered with the production of energy. Another type of nutrient, that is proteins. They are mainly concerned with the repairment as well as they are mainly helps to maintain our body. As well as it also helps to release energy. Then vitamins as well as minerals. These vitamins, minerals as well as water. All these are very essential nutrient content like vitamins, vitamin A, B, C. Like that different types of vitamins are there. So these vitamins are very essential for the proper growth as well as maintenance of our body, as well as they are mainly concerned with or protection. They provide protection against diseases or they fight against diseases, as well as mineral. This also helps to maintain our body cells. Water also another essential nutrient that also very important for the growth as well as maintenance of our body. So these are basic 5-6 nutrients like carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals as well as water. So why should we eat food, or what is the importance of these nutrients? So the nutrients are very essential because it helps to obtain energy. So the nutrients like carbohydrate as well as fat, as well as proteins, they are mainly concerned with energy or the release of energy, or they helps to obtain energy. Then it helps to obtain materials for growth, especially these proteins as well as vitamins, minerals. They mainly help in case of growth as well as further development. Then another function, that is repair of damaged body. Like in case of proteins, mainly they are concerned with the maintenance as well as repair of damaged body parts. Likewise, all these nutrients, they are very essential to carry out all the life processes. So the life processes means, what is the meaning of life process? Life process means all the processes that takes place within the body of living organism for its survival. So all the life processes that are very essential or very important for the survival of living organism. So some of the example, like nutrition. Nutrition is one of the important life process. Respiration also another important life process. Nutrition, respiration, circulation, transportation, excretion, reproduction, all these comes under life processes. So all these life processes that also takes place or that also carry out with the help of all these nutrients. So nutrients, they are also very essential for proper growth, or they help to release energy for carry out further life processes, as well as they help in the growth as well as development of the body, as well as they help in the repairment of damaged body cells, as well as for the maintenance of our body. Now we will discuss different modes of feeding. Different modes of feeding in animals. There are some animals as well as some of the examples or different modes of their feeding. Some methods of feeding or some modes of feeding. Like snail, the main food that is they feed from or feed upon grass, and the mode of feeding that is by chewing. Then ant, mode of feeding that is scraping. Eagle, their mode of feeding swallowing. Then hummingbird, lice, mosquito, butterfly, housefly, they eat or they feed from different food, but their mode of feeding that is same, that is sucking. Then housefly, their mode of feeding that is by brewing. So these are the some of the examples which showing different mode of feeding in different types of animals. There are mainly two types of nutrition. One is autotrophic nutrition and another type that is heterotrophic nutrition. Then autotrophic nutrition, the word auto, the meaning of the word that is self. Then troph, that means nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition or the autotrophs means the organism which can prepare their own food. So the organism, they can prepare their own food. Especially in case of green plants, all the green plants are termed as autotrophs, or they are mainly known as producers. Autotrophs, or another name, they are mainly known as producers because they can produce their own food due to the presence of green colored pigment known as chlorophyll. So green plants or producers, they are able to synthesize their own food due to the presence of chlorophyll or green colored pigment in them. So with the help of this green colored pigment or with the help of this chlorophyll, they can trap or they can capture the sunlight, and they use the light energy as the source of making their food. So that process is known as photosynthesis. Through photosynthesis. So photosynthesis means it is the process during which plants are able to prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight. By using this chlorophyll molecule, they can trap the light energy or sunlight, and in the presence of carbon dioxide as well as water, they are able to synthesize their own food. So that process is known as photosynthesis. So green plants are mostly known as producers or autotrophs. Then another type of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. The word meaning hetero, the meaning is different. So heterotrophic organism or the heterotrophs are mostly depend upon other plants or other smaller animals for getting their nourishment or for deriving the energy for their further bodily activities. The main difference between autotrophs as well as heterotrophs, autotrophs, they are able to synthesize or they make their own food. On the other hand, heterotrophs, they cannot prepare their own food. So they mainly depend upon other plants or smaller animals for obtaining their nutrition. Then some of the examples of autotrophs, they are plants, protozoans or protists, or some bacteria. Then in case of heterotrophs, they include most of the animals, fungi and some other bacteria. The autotrophs are further categorized into two types. One is photoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs. And second one, that is chemoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs as well as chemoautotrophs. So photo means the word meaning that is light. So in case of photoautotrophs, the main energy source, that is light. So light is the main energy source for preparing their food, especially during the process of photosynthesis. So the main example of photoautotrophs, that is plants. So mostly the plants are photoautotrophs because they derive their food or they derive their energy in the presence of light, or the main energy source, that is sunlight. In case of chemoautotrophs, they use chemo, the word meaning, that is chemical. So mainly they use chemical energy for synthesizing their food. Example, some of the examples, some bacteria like sulfur bacteria and iron bacteria. Some examples, sulfur bacteria as well as iron bacteria. So some bacteria, they comes under autotrophs and some other bacteria, they comes under heterotrophs. So some bacteria, they are able to synthesize their own food by using chemical energy that is released during chemical reactions. So they are termed as chemoautotrophs. Some of the examples like sulfur bacteria, iron bacteria. On the other hand, photoautotrophs, they are mainly known as producers or green plants. So they use light energy for synthesizing their food, or main energy source, that is light. In case of chemoautotrophs, the main source of energy, that is chemical energy. So two types, photoautotrophs as well as chemoautotrophs. Types of heterotrophic nutrition. Different types of heterotrophic nutrition. One is symbiotic nutrition, then holozoic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition as well as parasitic nutrition. Four main different types of heterotrophic nutrition. So first we will discuss about holozoic nutrition. So holozoic nutrition means during this type of nutrition, the organism intake the food or ingest the food as a whole. That means complete food, maybe in the form of solid or maybe in the form of liquid. So in case of holozoic nutrition, the organism or such kind of animals, they intake the food or they ingest the food as a whole or complete food, maybe in the form of solid as well as liquid. Then further, the breakdown of these large complex food substances into simpler form by the help of some digestive enzymes. Then further absorption process will take place. Then assimilation or its utilization by different body cells as well as excretion process. So all these together known as holozoic type of nutrition. So it mainly takes place in case of human beings. Especially in case of human beings, then most of the animals including amoeba, they all follow holozoic nutrition. So in case of holozoic nutrition, the organism feed or they ingesting solid organic matter. Then after the absorption or after the injecting of the food or after the intake of the solid food, the digestion it followed by absorption. So this entire type of nutrition or this entire process is together known as holozoic nutrition. Some of the examples, human beings, then most of the animals including amoeba, they all follows holozoic nutrition. Another type of nutrition, that is saprotrophic nutrition or saprophytism. So the saprophytes means the organism which feed on dead and decaying matter. So mainly they feed on dead as well as decaying matter. Some of the examples, bacteria as well as fungi. Most of the microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, they feed upon dead as well as decaying matter. So the actual mechanism takes place during the saprotrophic type of nutrition, that is, firstly, like bacteria or fungus, they digest the food externally. So that process of digestion that takes place outside the body of that organism or outside the body of fungus or outside the body of bacteria itself. How does this process takes place? Firstly, these bacteria or fungi, they release some digestive enzymes. They release some digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes on the body of that dead or decaying matter. So the further process of digestion or these digestive enzymes or these digestive juices which are released from the body of these bacteria or fungi, they helps to break down these complex dead as well as decaying matter into simpler as well as soluble form. So that is why it is written that externally digestion takes place externally. Then after the digestion process, that is simpler as well as that is soluble form, that is absorbed by bacteria or fungi. That is, it is written that it digests the food externally before the nutrients are absorbed. So the digestion process that it takes place outside the body. Once again I will repeat it. Organism like bacteria as well as fungi, they feed upon dead as well as decaying matter. And they release some digestive enzymes or digestive juices to that dead matter or that decaying matter. So with the help of these digestive juices or digestive enzymes, mainly all these type of enzymes or digestive enzymes, they helps to break down the large complex material or large material into simpler as well as soluble form. So the outside the body of these saprotrophs, digestion process takes place. So now this juicy material or the digested material or the simpler as well as soluble material that is easily absorbed by the body of these bacteria or fungi. That is the actual mechanism of saprotrophic nutrition. Then another type of nutrition, that is parasitic nutrition, parasitism or parasitic nutrition. Examples in case of fleas, lice and the worms. So these parasites, mainly these are known as parasites. So they obtain nutrients from the living or in the body of the host. So host as well as parasite. So sometimes these parasites, they derive their food or they derive energy or they derive their food from the body. Maybe by living in the body of the host or maybe living on the body of host. That means there are mainly two types of parasites are there. Some are endoparasite. Two types are there. Endoparasite. Endoparasite. Endo means inside. So they live inside the body of host. Then some are ectoparasite. Ectoparasite, that means they lives outside the body of host. So parasite means they mainly depend upon a living host for getting their nourishment or for obtaining their food. So two types are there. Some parasites, they are endoparasite while some are ectoparasite. So endoparasite means the parasite or the organism which lives inside the body of living host. Then some are ectoparasite, that means they live outside the body of living host, and they mostly depend upon this living host for getting their nourishment. So such type of nutrition, that is known as parasitic nutrition. Then another type of nutrition, that is known as symbiotic nutrition. Symbiotic or mutualism. That means the organism, both the organisms are there. In case of parasitic nutrition, one host, living host, as well as one parasite. So two organisms are involved. Likewise, in case of symbiotic nutrition, there also two organisms are involved, but both the organism will get benefited. So it is beneficial to both the organism. But in case of parasite nutrition, only one organism get benefit. That means parasite will get its nutrition or nourishment from that living host. In turn, that living host, maybe it is harmed. In case of symbiotic nutrition, both the organism will get benefit. That means one organism that will depend upon the second organism for obtaining their nourishment or for getting their food. In turn, that second organism that will get shelter from that first organism. That means they are mutually benefited. Mutualism or mutually benefited. That no one is harmed in case of symbiotic nutrition. Example, lichens. In case of lichen, that means it is a symbiotic association between algae and fungus. So algae as well as fungus. So this is the symbiotic association between algae and fungus. So one organism will get nourishment from the second one, then in turn second organism that will get shelter from the another organism. So one or other way both the organism will get benefited. So let's discuss about holozoic nutrition. That is holozoic. Holo means the word meaning that is whole or complete, whole. Zoikos, the word meaning zoikos, that means related with animals. So in this type of nutrition, the intake of the food as a whole, then after the intake of this food as a whole, the digestion process or breakdown of that large food substances into simpler as well as soluble form by using some digestive enzymes. Then further its absorption process by different body cells. Then later assimilation process, that means its utilization by different body cells or tissues. Then later ingestion process. So all these processes together, it is the part of holozoic nutrition. So it involves the ingestion of liquid or solid food material. Okay, so it involves maybe food that may be in the form of liquid or in the form of solid. Then further is digestion, absorption and assimilation. Assimilation means its utilization. So this method or this type of nutrition, that is known as holozoic nutrition. Then the types of holozoic nutrition. Already told in case of human beings, amoeba, then most of the animal, they possess or they follow holozoic type of nutrition. That means all these type of organism, most of the animal, they ingest the food as a whole. So we can divide these holozoic nutrition into three different categories like herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Or we can say that based on the feeding habits, or the type of organism which they feed or which they eat, based on that feeding habit, we can divide the organism into three main categories. One is herbivores, second one that is carnivores, then third one that is omnivores. So herbivores means the organism that feed on only on plants. Carnivores means they mostly depend upon other animals, that means flesh eating animals. Then third category that is omnivores, that means they mostly feed or mostly they eat both plants as well as animals, or mixed type, that is known as omnivores. So this division, that means it is based on the type of food which they feed or based on their feeding habit. The organisms are mainly categorized into three groups, that is herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Or we can say that actually it is a type of holozoic nutrition. Actually don't get confused with that. Don't get confused because already from smaller class you have studied that the animals or organisms based on their feeding habit they are classified into three types like herbivore, carnivores and omnivores. Another one more information, another one more categorization, that is types of holozoic nutrition. Actually these three types they comes under different types of holozoic nutrition. Why does it comes under holozoic nutrition? Because all these organisms, whether they feed on plants or whether they feed on meat or flesh of other animals, they all comes under holozoic type of nutrition. That means they all, in case of grass eating animals, they ingest the grass as a whole, then later its digestion, absorption, assimilation takes place. In case of carnivores, they ingest the food as a whole in the form of meat or flesh. Later, its digestion process or its breakdown as well as its absorption, assimilation takes place. Same in case of omnivores like human beings and some other animals. Same like holozoic nutrition. So, that is why it is also known as the types of holozoic nutrition. So once again I will repeat it based on the feeding habit. Feeding habits. Based on feeding habits, organisms are categorized into three types, that is herbivores, carnivores and omnivores, which eats only plants. Carnivores only they eat meats or flesh of animals. Then omnivores, animal that eats both plant as well as meat. So this is the classification of animals or organisms based on their feeding habit. Or we can say that this is the types of holozoic nutrition. Types of holozoic nutrition. Because all these like herbivore, carnivore as well as omnivore, they all shows holozoic type of feeding habit. That is why we can say that this is types of holozoic nutrition, or based on feeding habits, organisms are classified into three types: herbivore, carnivore and omnivore. This figure shows some of the examples of carnivorous animals and omnivorous animals as well as herbivores.